Okay guys, welcome back into the channel. We are on part 3 now, and in part 3 we're going to continue on the restoration of this beast. It is a 2006 Suzuki Vinson 500. I got it for $1,300, and the seller said that the transmission is bumping, jumping, clumping, so he had to limp it back from when he was on the trail, and you drive forward and it'll get stuck, back up, go forward again. So there's chunks or something floating around in there and getting seized up in the transmission. So on the first part we did take out first 2 parts, took out the engine. We diagnosed that there is a problem in here. It's bumping, so I have this much off, and there's never enough room. Top end I'm going to start taking out and putting over here, and shouldn't take too long for the top end, and we'll see what the piston looks like. There's nothing that seems to be seized up in any possible way. The bearings are all buttery smooth everywhere that I could see. A lot of parts if we can leave in, we're definitely going to leave in. Stator looks good and never had a problem. It was charging, it was running. Clutch basket, I don't see any burning in there, and I don't really want to take it all apart. It looks pretty good. And this other clutch mechanism here looks good. Looks like there's lots of still material on the shoes there. It looks like, I guess when the RPM speed up, the centrifugal force pushes out, grabs a hold. Other than that, yeah, we're going to continue on. We're going to start taking this down, and that'll take a bunch of weight off as well to move around, and we'll be able to get a look in the side to see. We can check for the crank and see if the main bearing and stuff like that is just toast or good or what. So stay tuned. Okay, so we are going to get this cap off first, and I think we're looking at, where did we put this? We got to take that cap off. I think we got to take the caps off. Okay, guess we're taking these off because there is one inside each side. So no big deal. There's lots of oil up in there, so that's good. Now it should come off. Should and does is 2 totally different things. There's a lot of gasket maker. We're going to make sure there's no bolts underneath. I do not believe I have to take these 2 out. Oh, here we go. I should have a better angle here. Make sure nothing falls off while you're hammering. There we go. Okay. Always make sure nothing's falling when you take it off. Lots of gasket makers, so somebody's been up in here. Rockers look good. I don't see anything bad up in here. No chunks. Nothing broken. And Cam looks good. Decompression. I think we're gonna have to go let the Mav back in the house and get some gloves on. Okay, try to get some more light up in here. Need to install some lighting up on top so everybody can see a little better, including myself. So this is gonna, as I'm loosening this, it's gonna back out, and hopefully you guys can see. So this is the chain, timing chain tensioner. Do is, so this will stay in, and then you got to push. I think you got to push in here, and then it locks back, and then you click it. So we'll show that in the end. It's been a while since I've dealt with one of those. So then this pushes out, and then it'll stay out wherever it is to keep the tension on the chain. Maybe we can just turn this around. So there's this part here. I wonder if I can take it off the bottom. So you have to take this one off, and this has been off because this has been damaged a lot. You're supposed to buy a new pin here, a new little bracket. So what this does is this holds this cog off, so then you can get it off. So you have to hammer down the flap there. So then you can get your socket in. And 10 mil. You don't want to, well, we're taking it apart, so it's not as bad. When you're doing the top end, it's not something you want to lose down in there. And make sure you guys can still see good, yeah. And then you turn it, and you get the other one. And you hammer that down. This is a little more tighter in there. Okay, that's out. So then you hold this so it doesn't fall, and pop it out, the bolt, grab that piece, and remember, if there's only one way it can go, I think, is the top here. Okay, keep those bolts together. We got them in that little arc, and you can buy these. They're supposed to buy a new one every time you do this. And then that allows you to be able to get the cam out. Allows you to get the chain off, but everything's still covered in oil. It can't grip anything. Let's see if I can just pull the cam out. Out of here. chain off the bottom. Okay. There. See, it seems like it just falls off when you want it, and you don't want it, and you don't need it to. And so that's out. That goes on top there. And then the cam can come out. Sit there. And then the chain, doesn't matter if it falls because it's down in here. Now we can push the... I think we're going to have to get the chain tensioner out. There's like a chain guide down here. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this off until I get that chain guide off. And that comes off as soon as you get this off here. So. Just a low spot in the engine that just doesn't come out. And okay, let's try to get this head off here. And you'll see that there is a guide on this side and a guide on this side, and they'll come out with the head. Okay, it's loose. Now I can take off these two bolts. Then I temporarily, or nuts that I put on here, and this should just come right off. And there we go. So there's one of the guides I was talking about right here. That one is screwed in. So you got that to remove that guide. But we're just going to leave it there. Looks hunky-dory. I'm going to put these two nuts back on here. And so this guy just fits right in like that. Right down like that. It's holding the chain in down there. So now we can get the timing chain out. Make some room here. These head bolts. Okay, so then we can see in the cylinder here. I didn't want to have to put a new cylinder in for sure. And the cylinder comes off pretty easily. I think it's 2 bolts here. Yeah, I think it's just 2 bolts. And it comes off because it's being held by the 2 or the 4 giant ones, and you can see that this has been redone. Okay, let's grab it. There we go. And the cylinder piston should pop out. Get rid of this actually. And the piston is going to come out. There we go. And I don't know if you guys can see that. There is some lines in there. So well, I'm going to check the ring gap. I am going to check the ring gasket before I put that in, and I could throw the whatever you call it. Words escape me. That's what happens when you get old. Somebody's screaming it at the TV right now. It's the. But there's no deep scratches at all. There's nothing that my nail is sticking in here. It's smooth. Okay. We're going to take these two nuts and put it back on here. We're going to leave that gasket on there for now. You know what? We're going to take that gasket off. And it looks fine. We are going to get new. Hang it up on our little gasket hanger. And then when we look down in there, what do we see? Do we see anything? We're going to check for tiny bit of side to side movement, tiny, and absolutely no up and down play. Nothing. So that's good. That's a little bit of a relief. And I don't see anything down in there. As far as gears, missing teeth or something, you know. So, a little bit of carbon up there. We could do a leak test. Pour some brake fluid in the top, see if it drips out the bottom. See if those are closing properly. You know, I have it open. I don't know if I'm keeping this one myself or if I'll be reselling it. So, don't know. Do I do a top end and then that's... Canada, things aren't too cheap. So, I'll have to take a look at how much the piston and everything cost, and that'll help me determine. I had a flashlight around here somewhere. Those gears look fine. Don't see any chunks down in there. Okay. Well, I hope something miraculously appears, because I don't see anything yet. I can see down in there. Oh, yeah. I see it. It's exactly what I thought it was. It is the main. Is that old? That's the problem. So it's the gear. Can I turn it? Yeah, I can. I can't really turn it. I'm going to see if I can get a camera in there. That's awesome. So I think it's just one gear that... So let's see if I can get an angle in here. See if I can see. So I'm gonna have to order that up, but I don't know how much other damage there is. So you can see that gear. Can I get a flashlight in there? I need to get a light in there. So is that geared to the bottom right that has chunks missing out of it? And it's like the main drive gear. It's like a cone. I really wish I could give you guys a better view, but we'll see it when we get this case split, but that's great news. That's great. If you can see that. But it's fantastic news. So as long as those chunks didn't fly up, and because they're on the bottom of the engine, more than likely they fell down. And the problem with popping is because that is, I mean, it could be that gear and the drive shaft gear, both sides broke. So it might be 2 parts, but all right. So I'm going to come back when I get the puller and move on to the next step, is splitting this case. We're almost there, guys. Okay, guys, so I have gotten a little help here. So when I looked for this model of engine, and actually the Vinson, the same one kept coming up, and I couldn't find the proper manual on my phone. So I went on my laptop, and the first one that shows up is the proper one. So I do have the manual online here. So this is going to save a ton of frustration. It's not as good as my big monitor in the house, but piece by piece, it'll show you how to take it apart. And this is on Manual Libs, Manuals Live, I guess, LIB, manuallibrary.com. And it is, in case you're looking, Suzuki LT-F, not A, F 500F. That is the one that you're looking for, and that is the 5-speed transmission. So we're going to work our way at this to get the rest of it off. So hopefully I don't need a special tool, because there is a couple things that you're supposed to have a special tool, like taking this one off here. So I'm gonna sort of see make sure I'm following all the steps by the book here. So we took out the reverse shift cam stopper bolt. So it goes right in there. Don't ask me what it does. Okay, so we're just looking at waiting for the flywheel puller, and then we'll be good to go. I'm curious to see what it looks like down in here. There is a screen, like a sort of a filter down there to catch steel particles. So I'm curious to see what's down there. Once we get this off, we're going to flip the engine, and we're going to get the case splitter and split it with the other side faced up. All right, guys, looks like Amazon pulled through, and we're just going to hope this is the right one, and get this sucker put in. So this should be the flywheel puller, and that is the part, I guess, from Amazon. 1.5 by, I can't remember. We're just gonna hope this is the right one. Reviews said it did. That's good. And I did order the gasket kit. It'll be here tomorrow. And the 2 gears that I believe are broken inside. And I don't know if there's a kit I could have bought. This was like $37 or something like that. Let's bring this over here. And I'll zoom in here. Get some new gloves on again. This goes over top the outside. I don't know if anybody's ever seen these before. I'm sure you have, but let's bring it right in. So this is actually threaded on the outside. right there. So just gotta actually find the threads. Could go forwards, could go backwards. This is definitely the size because I can. There we go. A little SMR. The noises. Okay, so once you get that on, then you're just going to screw this in. Okay. And then, is that the size? What is this? This is a 19. Okay. Probably a 14. 16. It's going to be an 18. I'll bet you. And where's my 18? Yep, 18. And then you just screw it in. You're going to start slow until it seats itself. And then it hits there. And then you're going to want to, I don't know how hard this is going to pull. Not hard at all. So, and it should just, it's turning slowly. Pop off. Take this off. And I still had this nut on in here. And you're going to pull it off, and you're going to want to make sure you don't lose the key here. You take it out in a second. I'm going to just sit this down. And just tabby. So if your timing ever goes way off, that's what you're going to want to look for to see if your key there is sheared off. So I just sat that inside the flywheel on the magnet. I won't lose it. And then you're going to pull off this gear. Bearings are perfect there. Let's pull out the case splitter and flip this over. Okay, so I was just turning this over and a bunch of stuff fell out. Anybody want to guess what fell out? Chunks. Chunks. Lots and lots of chunks. And I'm hoping this is a piece of a gear. It looks like it's a piece of that gear. So we're about to split this case. And we'll see what this looks like. Trying to zoom for you guys. Out of here. The right side definitely comes apart faster than the left side here. It's just place to hammer. Okay, I think we got it. So we're gonna move it back as far as we can here because we don't want this thing, when I lift the top off, parts falling out. So this is the crucial. Okay. Off, and make sure you always have a place to put things, because I don't have a place to put this. Okay, let me find a place to put that. I have a place for it. I'm gonna carry it right over here. Okay, so first we're going to look at this, and you can see where all the damage is. That's what we call almost catastrophic. What I would call this gear is completely gone. It's got a few teeth in there, and look at all this. Look at all that. So the good thing, there's a bearing race there. I think what do they call that? It goes in there, and there should be one for here. So that could be. Yep. So it's stuck on the other side. So there's one there, one for there. The rest of the gears honestly look perfectly fine. I don't need to take out or touch any of them. I don't see any chunks, grinding, anything whatsoever. Counterbalance is fine. The crank is perfect. The gears are perfect. Nothing's come out, fallen out, nothing. So I'm not touching any of that. I'm gonna have to clean everything out of here and take off that gear, obviously. Look at all the pieces. Look at them all. Oh, that's crazy. The force that would take is kind of crazy. So let's get you guys up here so I get two hands and see if I can see this. Get all these, and magnet works great, so it'll take all of those. Look at that. Look at the state of that. That's crazy. Yeah, we'll take that off. Put some brake cleaner in there once we get this table cleared off and that part cleaned out, and we'll get that nice and cleaned up. Okay, so there's some more chunks in here. And this part here. Get that magnet. Get some more part holes. Out of there. And let's investigate, shall we? How bad this is. So how do I get that off of there is the next part. I think when I get the new one of the other, I may have to mend it up here and see how bad this looks, because it's got a little wear, but that's definitely taken the brunt of it. Bond. There we go. So this comes apart like that. And okay. So this see the damage there? Need to find out how to get that gear off. Okay guys, we're going to take this carburetor apart, and that's the boot that was on there. It's massive, and it's got a nice screen on there. Stop any animals from going in there in big chunks. It's great. So I took the cover off the throttle assembly here, and we're going to start. I think I'll probably leave the hoses on there and put them through the ultrasonic as well. And if I look at this, has anybody been in here? Yes, maybe once. One, two, three. Do we get the fourth without stripping? 4. Good stuff. And so you can see that the idle bracket here is on this side. So you gotta remember to put that back on there. No washer on that one. Only washers on the side with the bracket. Okay. Okay, that's pretty clean. Got a little bit of dust in there. I think there's some actually crud down in the bowl here. There we go. So down in the bottom underneath this little protective thing, there is actually a lot. Look at that. So ultrasonic cleaner should get all that crap. If I really look at these screws, it looks like maybe nobody has been in here before. That was just the dirt. Nothing stripped that I can see. And hopefully that, I can't take that little plate out. It's not a screw, so hopefully ultrasonic gets in there. Let's get this pin out. Oh, it's kind of that nice and easy. Nice. Float and the needle. If I can get this needle off. And there's nothing in there. It's in good shape. And the needle, nice and soft still. Okay. I don't know. I don't think I can get this bowl out. I think it's a permanent one in there. It's not coming out. Okay, let's get the main out here. And we'll take a look at that, and yeah, that's definitely half clogged. Not bad. Just blowing it out like that, got most of it out, but we'll put that in the cleaner. You can just smell the old gas in this. Now that's completely clogged. Yeah, can barely see any light through that at all. So we'll clean that out. And should have brought. I'll take the emulsion tube out. And it's got, oh, it's not bad. No, that's not bad. Not at all. But the smell of old gas. Okay. And the fuel mixture screw here. How many turns? 1, 2, 3. 3, exactly. I don't think that's normal. I'll have to look that up. And pins are gunked up. Oh, that's probably why. Look at all the gunk on that. When it starts getting covered in crap, you gotta open it more and more instead of just taking it out and cleaning it. And there should be a spring in there. And there should be have to dig that out, a spacer or a washer and a rubber O-ring in there. Okay. Everything's just caked in mud. There's mud everywhere, and I power washed this too, so I'm going to take a look at the diaphragm. So far, not too bad. Maybe he had problems with it idling, and so that's why he was turning up the idle screw, the fuel mixture. These screws are amazing. It's nice to deal with a screw that's not stripped all the time. Okay. Look at that crap on there. Yeah, see there's some junk on there. And we'll separate this slowly. And take out the spring, and that's holding the pin down. And we'll look for rips, tears. It's pretty good. It's nice and flexible. Haven't really found one of these that was torn, but they hold up pretty good. We'll put that in the cleaner. Yeah. There is, and this is a Kiin, Japan. And it says right here 03GH TCO. is a little, I wonder if that's a primer. It's nice and free. Let's pop this open on the top here. Probably a little diaphragm down here. This is not tight at all. Oh, there's a spring in there. Okay. Yeah, you definitely want to hold on to that, because that would have flew across the room. And yeah, oh, you can see that old yellow dark gas in there. Oh yeah, that stinks. That's, so I think, I'll make sure we can get this diaphragm out very delicately. And popping a hole through it. There we go. And that's in good shape. Yeah, there is some crap in there. Yeah, there's lots of dust and we're going to clean that out. Okay, we're going to put this in the cleaner, the ultrasonic cleaner, along with the jets and the screws. No, we're leaving the screws here so we don't get them confused. Yeah, you can see how dark that is in there. All that on the inside is just stirred. So good thing we opened that up. And get that diaphragm. All right, put this in the ultrasonic for some time. Okay, so putting the carb in, and this is huge. I'll just push everything else down in there. Okay, did we get the right parts? Let's hope. Oh, that's definitely the right one. And that's the one that contact goes on the shaft. Sweet. We can put her together. All right, guys. So, got my delivery today. Sweet. And that little particles of metal on there? I don't think so. Could be. We got our new gears. So one of these was used, and I can't remember which one, but they both look brand new. There's nothing wrong with either of them, and that's how they work. They mesh together. One on the drive shaft here, and so this came with a new bearing. Came with the whole thing. So let's hope that fits. And it just goes straight down on like that. Yeah. See, this one's still not horrible, but I think that's how we're gonna go right there. we're going to put this on. And I think it's this one right here, actually. That bearing is still nice and loose. And this sits in like this. And then this one goes in the other side. And that has a little pin. So the pin, I don't know where the pin goes in. Must go, stops the little spacer from spinning. Stops the bearing from spinning. So if we were to do this, put that back in there, and stretch that bearing like that. And yeah, so this has to be right in there like that. This goes right in like that. Yeah, that goes right against there. That goes right against there. There's a little cut in here. If you can see this. So there's a little space in here. This little pin coming out of the bearing goes in there, and the same with this side. So that's that one. And that one like that. And that one on top like that. And just wipe inside here. I don't think there's anything too serious still in here. Crunchy at all. And then I don't think it was this size. Was it this size? No. Was it this one? Yeah, I think it was that one. And what we should do is put some Loctite on that. And I did put some assembly lube, which I'm going to put some on the gears as well, just randomly around here. We're going to get it to the same position, pretty much, that we had it at, so we can take a screwdriver and we're going to knock that. I don't have a brass punch. We're gonna knock this in. Man, is that bearing good? I can't hold it still, it's just slipping. And it's going in. Great, guys. It's a new day. This is the day that we're going to put this sucker back together. And it is definitely anxiety filled because there's a lot of parts, but not as bad as I thought. So I can't remember what I said when I got the last day. But so I just spread some assembly lube on a bunch of gears here. It's good. So this stuff actually, it blends in with the motor oil. So it's just, you know, the first startup to get the oil pumping and over all the gears and everything. It's a good idea just to get a good coating on, at least get something in there to get them lubricated. So I do have the new gears in. I have the drive shaft in. I believe it's 100% in the right spot and everything. So my next step is to put some gasket maker. It does recommend that you use Suzuki lube, but I think like Suzuki lube, Yamaha lube, Honda lube, it's all those. I think that's what it's called. Is all the same stuff. It's basically a gasket maker. So I did go over it with a razor blade to take off as much as I could. There's still some on the outsides residue, but I'm not gonna get every drop off. As long as I get everything off the mating surfaces, should be fine. And these are the oil seals here on the outside, and I didn't have any leaking oil, so I don't think that's a problem. Should mate good. Everything should, you know. Almost just sort of tacks it up there. You want to make sure you don't pinch the gasket. Now when you're putting this on, you're going to want to be careful because this pin has to go in to this properly. So, and I think you're actually supposed to take off the water pump, but let's just get this in here. Oops. This one on there, and this on there, and then you're gonna put the lock pin. Okay, so you're going to notice this little notch in here in the bottom. So it's got like a cut across. So on the case, we got a similar thing for, I don't know if that's the speed sensor. Right here, but that has to match up inside. So, and this, we're going to do the same thing we did before and put some screws in here to hold the gasket. Okay, it looks like we got a ton of gasket maker or something in the screen here. It's like all rubberized. And so we're gonna flip this over and try to put this in. And we got this side on. I'm going to put the cover on, and we are going to start putting the bolts in. We're going to, how about we go to a 0.18. And that literally just fits in there. So we're good on that side. And just scraping on that side. Okay, we're good. Perfect valve clearance. You can put the caps back on. So you guys can see. So this is what I'm working with here. So you're going to hold this screwdriver. I think there's a way to make it stay. I know there was on one I worked on previously. And you're going to tighten these two up. And then once you do, you just let go. And it'll self-tension itself. Self-tension itself? It'll tension itself onto the chain. And it pushes in and it won't back out. So now, as if something wears, it'll keep putting more and more tension on it. So make sure it keeps. So make sure you tighten these up with some Allen keys. Let's get this under here. So we can have a. So. Let's make sure what this is in right now. Oh. That's in. Okay, so that's low or high. And then we'll gotta get that screw in there that fell. Somebody keeps texting me. Get that screw in there. Now we'll pull that up. Put it in that bracket. There we go. And then you can tighten that up. A water pump on here. And we did get a new gasket or O-ring for this as well. You know that because it's shaped that it's the right one. Okay. So and we will put that on there. Make sure. Yeah, that's connected. And when you turn the engine, actually that's in neutral right now. I think. And yep. So when I pull that, pull the full start. I can see it spinning. So that is good. So we're going to pop this on here. One big bolt on the top. And then 2 little ones for the bottom. And make sure we tighten to the drain bolt. That is 8 mil. And yeah, we're going to make sure that we tighten up this drain bolt. And we'll put the hose back on and tighten that up. Okay. The only thing we need to do now is put the engine back in. We have a couple extra bolts. I know I got to put that on, that on, that on, and this guy on. So I can't remember where this goes. Definitely we'll put it on before I do anything. But I don't want to make this video forever. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Keep watching for the next episode, and that's when we're going to put it in there, and then put all the connections together, and we should be able to do the first fire up. I did get some oil and some coolant already. I went to get a oil filter, but they didn't have any at the local Canadian Tire, so I'm going to have to get one still to put on there. And you know, we'll keep plugging away at this. I think on the next video it'll be in and running, and be able to test the transmission out and see how it goes. Hopefully nothing blows up, nothing breaks, nothing shatters. I don't drive it off a cliff. And again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the good comments. Definitely ask questions. If I did something wrong, tell me, because I'm trying to learn, right? So all right guys, have a great day and stay tuned for the next episode. Bye.